Hello all, welcome to my channel. I'm Pandya. We are here to discuss early societies part 2. Already part 1 video was uploaded in our channel. If you haven't watched it, please do watch and come back here to the part 2. So it will be very easy to you to understand part 2. So as usual, I'm giving you three keywords to understand this topic. Keyword 1, early humans. Keyword 2, sources. And keyword 3 is skull. Early humans, sources, and the story of skull we are going to discuss in this section. So here it is all about theme 1 from the beginning of time. Look at the picture, what you understood. Try to think once what is running in your mind and about what it is. Exactly, it is the process of evolution. It is all about the process of evolution, right? Our journey was started somewhere, and finally we reached to a place where we are very comfortable today. And here you can see the timeline of the evolution. Sun originated, and then Earth, later Moon. When it comes to the next phase, atmospheric oxygen, and slowly species started originating. And gradually this journey reached to a place where primates were originated or emerged, and then Homo sapiens and all. So let us take an example to understand this topic. So if one of your friends asked, what is the proof you have to say that you have completed class 10th? So you will give an answer by saying that I have my marks memo with me, I have last year's ID card, some textbooks, whichever you used, etc. So what are all these? These are a kind of sources to say about your past, right? Let us take one more example. If someone asked about our independence of India, there is a long history to this national struggle and all. We have number of sources in our hands to say that exactly what has happened in one particular year during this journey and all. In the same way, whenever we are discussing about past, we need to have some evidence to speak about one particular incident or one particular time period. Then the question is that are we really having any evidence with us to discuss about early humans? Obviously, we can say yes, we have proofs in our hand, we have evidence in our hand. This evidence is also called as source. We have sources in our hand to discuss about early humans. Let us see what are all those sources. You can see the pictures here, which are also known as fossils. What is mean by fossils then? Fossils are the remains or impressions. It could be about a plant, or it could be of a human or animal or anything. So these are all providing information about the past to us, right? So here, these are very important points you have to keep in your mind. Almost 5.6 million years ago, first human-like creatures appeared on the Earth's surface. How many years back? 5.6 million years ago. This million years ago is also reflected as MYA, or else we can call it as MYA, million years ago. And 160,000 years ago, human being resembling was extincted. So then, what was happening? Here you can see during this long period of human history, we started obtaining food by scavenging or hunting of animals. Very clearly, we understood about this, and from childhood onwards, we have minimum idea on this, what is meant by hunting, how they used to get food in the initial days and all. Second, we have one more option to get some food, that is gathering from plant produce. And including that, we also started practicing making of stone tools. And in a slower learn, we also started communicating with each other. In the initial part, that used to be like giving a special sound to each other to communicate. And slowly, we started giving meaningful sounds to each other that other person can easily understand. Let me give an example. English is also a language, right? What is mean by a language? What we are doing in this? We are giving some useful sounds so you can catch it up. What does it mean exactly? These are also known as words, and these words are making us to understand the content which is there in a sentence, right? In the same way, they also started communicating with each and every person, and slowly this process started spreading. And here you can see, till now we discussed about some sources. These are some more sources. So here you need to remember our second keyword, sources. Discoveries of human fossils, stone tools, cave paintings. These are all very helpful to us to understand the history of the past. In what way human fossils are providing information to us? In what way stone tools or cave paintings are providing information? As those are available with us, we can understand what period those are all belongs to, in what situation those are there, in what place those are all available, and what type of history is there behind all those, right? And here, this initial part of discoveries was started almost 200 years ago, but many scholars were often reluctant to accept all these facts. Why this was exactly happened? Why people are not ready to accept even which has a proof? Because of their religious beliefs. Not only in Europe, each and every place there are some religious beliefs. And in the initial periods, especially religious institutions' impact was more on people. That's the reason people were unable to accept the truth as a truth. So, in this process, the role of religions we can discuss. You can see the second point here. So, you will understand the reason why people are reluctant to accept the facts. And then in August 1856, which was happened in Germany, a city called Düsseldorf, some workmen are working in a quarry. Literally, they are going with the process of quarrying for limestone, and they found a skull. With a curiosity, they started examining that, and later they gave it to a local school master, also a natural historian called Carl. So they handed over to Carl Furrock. This Carl Furrock started researching on the skull, and they found something. What it is, this skull is not at all belongs to the modern human. So immediately he started examining that, and also for the further research purpose, he sent the skull to the professor who is working in Bonn University, who is none other than Hermann. So as soon as he sent it to Hermann, he also started putting all his efforts to find out secrets behind that skull. And finally, he also declared that that skull is not belongs to the modern humans. So based on all these, with a collaborated effort, Herman and Carl both started publishing some papers. Through that, they started declaring what are the facts they found. So next, one of the landmarks in our history, that was 24th November 1859. I think everyone knows about Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin published The Origin of Species. So, as you know, it is one of the landmarks in our study of evolution. On the same day, whenever he published that paper, almost 1250 copies were sold out. In this book, or in this paper, The Origin of Species, Darwin argued that the process of evolution, in what way it has taken place. And now we will discuss this the story of human evolution. So, primates. We need to understand about primates. Why? Because these are the initial level species. This is a small subgroup of larger group of mammals. This includes some monkeys, apes, and humans too. And there are some special characteristic features like body hair, gestation period, or glands, teeth. These are all are special characteristic features of primates. And here we already had seen that the example of skull. If you can take the example again here, you can understand there is a complicated process from the beginning to the present. It is not so easy to understand each and everything. Why? Because millions and millions of years gap is there from the beginning to the present. So there are many questions which were unanswered even today. We are finding the facts. And whenever new data is often added to the existed data, the old data should get changed again. So what is happening is there are some continuous researches going on to find out the facts, and each fact is changing the history, we can say. So in this effort, we started finding the history which was happened almost 36 and 24 million years ago. So you can understand the difficulty of conceptualizing this role. Let us take a small example again to understand exactly how it will be going back and tracing history. Imagine that you have a book in that some pages are there. Consider each page is a representation of 10,000 years. Each page is a representation of 10,000 years. So when you have taken 10 pages, what does it mean? You're representing 100,000 years. When you have taken 100 pages, you're representing 1 million years. So now imagine that 36 million years we need to discuss with the help of that book. So how many pages a book should have then? 3,600 pages long at least, right? So with all this research, whatever we have done from the beginning part to the present, we understood that these primates, a category of mammals, are emerged in Asia and Africa. So when you are going back to 24 million years ago, you can understand the history of primates. These are also called as hominoids. When it comes to the human-alike hominids, you need to go back to 5.6 million years ago. So you can see hominoids, and yeah, you can see here the changes. What are the similarities and differences? And we'll discuss the same here. When it comes to the hominids, these were evolved from hominoids. What are hominids? What are hominoids then? Hominoids are also having some special characteristic features here, which are quadrupeds. What does it mean? These are walking on all four legs and also used to have flexible forelimbs. And when it comes to the size of the brain, it is smaller when compared to the hominids. Hominids are bipedal locomotion creatures, which means those who walks on 2 feet, and including that the posture is also different. Hominids have upright posture, and the size of the brain when compared to the hominids it's a bit bigger. And with all this research we understood the evidence of origin for hominids is present in Africa at first. How we can say there are two things which are supporting this statement. The first thing is that a group of African apes that are most closely related to hominids are available in Africa. Those were found in Africa, we can say. And what is the second thing then? Hominid fossils are there, like Australopithecus and all. These are also have been found in East Africa. So these are all dated back to 5.6 million years ago. Based on these two things, we can say the origins of hominids are there in Africa. And I repeat, the first thing is that a group of African apes which are closely resembles to the hominids were found in Africa. Second thing is that Australopithecus, these kind of hominids were also found in Africa, which are dated back to 5.6 million years ago. When it comes to the other places, in other places are also some fossils are found, but those are dated back to 1.8 million years ago. So you can understand the time difference here. And hominids, these are all belongs to a family known as Hominidae. What does mean by Hominidae? It is a group of families which includes all forms of human beings in it. Those are having distinctive characteristic features like the size of the brain is a bit bigger. When it comes to the posture, it is upright posture. And when it comes to the locomotion, it is bipedal. We understood what is mean by bipedal, using 2 foot to walk, and also specialization of the hand. So, with the continuous efforts of working with the hands years and again, this has brought some change in our hands and structure of hands. So it would be very easy to us to catch tools or to make tools and all. So these are all special characteristic features of hominids. And here in this picture, you can see the difference between a chimpanzee is the first one is a chimpanzee skeleton and all it is. And we are comparing with this Australopithecus. Then you can see the difference between Australopithecus and Homo erectus. So this is all about the evolution of human beings and all. Thank you.